Hello, everybody. A good afternoon to all of you, or good evening to those of you in the East Coast already. Happy Wednesday. The Chatting Magpie here with you. I am ready. We are ready to read some Count of Monte Cristo. With me, of course, is the gang, select members of the gang. Hey, gang, how are you?
We're ganging.
Yeah.
Yes. Totally ready, prepared, because this chapter, you guys, is gonna have quite a number of rules. And guess what? I'm gonna be reading more than just the narrator. We're all going to be multitasking because a certain someone has failed us. They say that they are where did they say? Where did he say he was? Who?
At the Hard Rock Cafe and Casino in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Look at that.
Wow, mega doxed.
Anybody in Tulsa, go and get him. Tell him to get his butt over here. All right, everybody. One of the chief mischief makers is not able to join us, so he won't be able to read. But you are in our thoughts, buddy. Hope that you can join us on Friday. But we are going to get started on this one as soon as we say hello to the people on YouTube. By the way, my thoughts are a little scattered because first of all, there's like Aurora Borealis situations going on, and then there's like in the West Coast, there's like a whole bunch of like rain is scheduled. So like I feel the strange disturbance in the atmosphere, you guys. So if I get a little distracted, please have patience with me. Who else is with us in the chat? So, yay, I see your comment. I see you. I validate you. Look at you with your crown being number one. I'll give you your time to read your summary, but hey, thank you for being the very first one in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also we have Patrick. Says this will be my first time just listening in a long time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and support your magpie. Patrick, we miss you and hope you have a good traveling, good time out there. Stay safe. Fuji is with us. Fuji, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we're doing fine. It's the middle of the week, so it's as well as can be expected. You say you are ready to do your thing, and I want you to be able to say it.
I pray for a blessing and appreciation of this serendipitous meeting, ordained by the harsh judgment of legally life and the 12 subordinates who serve by his side.
You may, please.
O weak leap, give us the power to protect our guilds. O Shalstrom of dreams, give us the power to dream. Dar Leben of longevity, give us longevity.
Yes, thank you, Fuji. We're not quite yet at winter. I think are we still in winter? I think we still have like a few more days of winter, but for some of us, it's starting to feel wintry weather. Or is it December? It's December, right? December 21st.
Yes, Shusaria has not yet lowered her shield.
Yeah, but I totally don't blame you if you're praying to it weekly, because I have heard from some people in central USA and other areas. I think Yuki was also saying that it's super cold over in Europe where she's at. It's getting cold, so...
It's snowing in Quebec.
Well, it's Canada. I mean, come on. But you know what? I think it was Ed that shared some pictures over on the Discord server, and you guys were like about the snow shoveling and stuff like that. I was following that conversation. How's the snow there? Has it gotten too bad? Right, I hear it is very bad too. All right. So, let's see who else is in the chat. Look, Byron Balaam is here. Hey, Byron. How are you? Happy to see you. And let's see. Patrick says that he has just won at roulette at the casino. Patrick, remember us, okay? We're your friends this holiday season, okay? Let's see who else is here. Teal says that even in SoCal and Texas, they could see the aurora. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's so cloudy over here, I couldn't take a pictures of the aurora. So, unfortunately, all of these things are happening all around us, like some meteor shower, some aurora, like a comet, like an interstellar comet is passing, and yep, I go outside at night and yeah, it's all cloudy. You can't even see anything, so bummer. Either way though, I am excited for rain. I love rain, especially since I don't have to go out and drive in it. All right, so let us continue, but not before Yay gives us the usual TLDR that we need to get us up to speed, in case you haven't followed the Count of Monte Cristo with us. Yay, please fill us in.
Mm-hmm. In case you're a bad fan who isn't listening to everyone. Last time on the Count of Monte Cristo, Albert and Franz left the Count and set about enjoying the carnival. During this time, the Countess pressed Franz for more information on the Count of Monte Cristo and his Greek companion, though Franz found himself unable to provide much information. At the same time, Albert spent the carnival repeatedly meeting up with a mysterious local girl. The pair made many an advance at each other, eventually agreeing to meet at the Via de Pontefici at the end of the carnival, before the grand ball of the Duke of Bracciano. The Parisians were meant to attend. Sure enough, as the carnival came to an end, Albert walked away with his ladylove. Who is this mysterious woman who so infatuates Albert? Will he make it to the Duke's party? What has the Count of Monte Cristo been up to this entire time? Perhaps we'll get some answers this time on the Count of Monte Cristo.
Nice. Thank you, Yay, for filling us in. Yeah, we're like, yeah, Albert went in with his baddie into some dark alley. We're wondering how he's gonna get out of there. We have suspicions, but we're gonna just delve right into it to figure out what happens. So today, reading is, well, might as well just go by name. Okay, so me, Magpie, I am going to be reading narrator, of course, and then I'm going to be reading also the Countess, Signor Pastrini, and Luigi Vampa. Teal is going to be reading Franz and the Sentry, and Yay is going to be reading Duke of Bracciano. Is that Bracciano or Bracciano, by the way? Double C's. I forget my Italian, the rule.
I think Bracciano, but
Bracciano.
I don't know.
Okay, Bracciano. Okay, yeah. I thought as much. Anyway, so Yay, you're going to be the Duke of Bracciano, the Servant in gold, the Messenger / Peppino, Count of Monte Cristo, and Albert Morcerf. Wow. All right, and Fuji is not going to read with us because she said she didn't want to read.
No, I'm busy.
No, she rejected all our entreaties to read. Flatly turned us down. Rejected us with coldness.
Stole the crown and then abandoned you all.
Stole the hope in our hearts that we had. All right. Enough melodrama. Shush, go, if you must go. Go. No. Stay here with us as long as you want, dear. I'm kidding. I just don't like to be rejected. I will never forget. All right. Yeah, Patrick's still at his casino. And Byron Balaam is going to wait for Patrick just outside the casino. Good on you, Byron. Good on you. Yeah. All right. So let's get started, everybody. And oh yeah, that's right. Hell hath no fury. Let's get started with reading chapter 37. So much nonsense, you guys. But yeah.
We don't even have a Patrick to blame on.
I know, it's just me. I tell you, it's the atmospheric river making its way to California. That's what I blamed. And the Aurora Borealis. And the interstellar comets. Anyway. Let's get started, you guys. Chapter 37. The Catacombs of Saint Sebastian. In his whole life, perhaps, Franz had never before experienced so sudden an impression, so rapid a transition from gaiety to sadness, as in this moment. It seemed as though Rome, under the magic breath of some demon of the night, had suddenly changed into a vast tomb. By a chance, which added yet to the intensity of the darkness, the moon, which was on the wane, did not rise until 11 o'clock, and the streets which the young man traversed were plunged into the deepest obscurity. The distance was short, and at the end of 10 minutes in his carriage, or rather the Count's, stopped before the Hôtel de Londres. Dinner was waiting, but as Albert had told him that he should not return so soon, Franz sat down without him. Signor Pastrini, who had been accustomed to see them dine together, inquired into the cause of his absence. But Franz merely replied that Albert had received on the previous evening an invitation which he had accepted. The sudden extinction of the Moccoletti, the darkness which had replaced the light, and the silence which had succeeded the turmoil, had left in Franz's mind a certain depression which was not free from uneasiness. He therefore dined very silently, in spite of the officious attention of his host, who presented himself 2 or 3 times to inquire if he wanted anything. Franz resolved to wait for Albert as late as possible. He ordered the carriage, therefore, for 11 o'clock, desiring Signor Pastrini to inform him the moment that Albert returned to the hotel. At 11 o'clock, Albert had not come back. Franz dressed himself and went out, telling his host that he was going to pass the night at the Duke of Bracciano's. The house of the Duke of Bracciano is one of the most delightful in Rome. The Duchess, one of the last heiresses of the Colonnas, does its honors with the most consummate grace, and thus their fêtes have an European celebrity. Franz and Albert had brought to Rome letters of introduction to them, and their first question on his arrival was to inquire the whereabouts of his travelling companion. Franz replied that he had left him at the moment they were about to extinguish the Moccolotti, and he had lost sight of him in the Via Marcello.
Then he has not returned.
I waited for him until this hour.
And do you know whither he went?
No, not precisely. However, I think it was something very like a rendezvous.
Diavolo! This is a bad day, or rather a bad night, to be out late. Is it not, Countess?
These words were addressed to the Countess G., who had just arrived and was leaning on the arm of Signor Torlonia, the Duke's brother. I think, on the contrary, that it is a charming night, replied the Countess, and those who are here will complain of but one thing, that of its too rapid flight.
I am not speaking of the person who are here. The men run no other danger than that of falling in love with you, and the women of falling ill of jealousy at seeing you so lovely. I meant persons who are out in the streets of Rome.
Ah, who is out in the streets of Rome at this hour, unless it is to go to a ball?
Our friend Albert de Morcerf, Countess, whom I left in pursuit of his unknown about 7 o'clock this evening, and whom I have not seen since.
And don't you know where he is?
Not at all.
Is he armed?
He is in masquerade.
You should not have allowed him to go. You, who know Rome better than he does.
You might as well have tried to stop number 3 of the Barberi, who gained the prize in the race today. And then, moreover, what could happen to him?
Can tell. The night is gloomy and the Tiber is very near the Via Marciano.
Franz felt a shudder run through his veins at observing that the feeling of the Duke and the Countess was so much in unison with his own personal disquietude.
I informed them at the hotel that I had the honor of passing the night here, Duke, and desired them to come and inform me of his return.
Ah, here I think is one of my servants who is seeking you.
The Duke was not mistaken. When he saw Franz, the servant came up to him.
Your Excellency, the master of the Hotel Londres has sent to me let you know that a man waiting for you with a letter from the Viscount de Morcerf.
A letter from the Viscount?
Yes.
And who is the man?
I do not know.
Why did he not bring it to me here?
The messenger did not say.
And where is the messenger?
He went away directly. He saw me enter the ballroom to find you.
Oh, go with all speed. Poor young man. Perhaps some accident has happened to him.
I will hasten.
Shall we see you again to give us any information? Inquired the Countess.
Yes, if it is not any serious affair. Otherwise, I cannot answer as to what I may do myself.
Be prudent in any event.
Oh, pray be assured of that.
Franz took his hat and went away in haste. He had sent away his carriage with orders for it to fetch him at 2 o'clock. Fortunately, the Palazzo Bracciano, which is on one side of the Corso and on the other in the square of the Holy Apostles, is hardly 10 minutes' walk from the Hotel de Londres. As he came near the hotel, Franz saw a man in the middle of the street. He had no doubt that it was the messenger from Albert. The man was wrapped up in a large cloak. He went up to him, but to his extreme astonishment, the stranger first addressed him.
What? that was a choice. What wants your Excellency of me?
Inquired the man, retreating a step or two as if to keep on his guard.
Are you not the person who brought me a letter from the Viscount of Morcerf?
Your Excellency lodges at Pastrini's hotel?
I do.
Your Excellency is the traveling companion of the Viscount.
I am.
Your Excellency's name?
Is the Baron Franz d'Epinay.
Then it is to your Excellency that this letter is addressed.
Is there any answer?
Yes, your friend at least hopes so.
Come upstairs with me, and I will give it to you.
I prefer waiting here.
And why?
Your Excellency will know when you have read the letter.
Shall I find you here, then?
Certainly.
Franz entered the hotel. On the staircase he met Signor Pastrini. "Well?" said the landlord.
Well, what?
"You have seen the man who desired to speak with you from your friend?"
Yes, I have seen him, and he has handed this letter to me. Light the candles in my apartment, if you please.
The innkeeper gave orders to a servant to go before Franz with a light. The young man had found Signor Pastrini looking very much alarmed, and this had only made him more anxious to read Albert's letter. And so he went instantly toward the waxlight and unfolded it. It was written and signed by Albert. Franz read it twice before he could comprehend what it contained. It was thus worded.
My dear fellow, the moment you have received this, have the kindness to take the letter of credit from my pocket-book, which you will find in the square drawer of the secretaire. Add your own to it, if it be not sufficient. Run to Torlono, draw from him instantly 4,000 piastres, and give them to the bearer. It is urgent that I should have this money without delay. I do not say more, relying on you as you may rely on me. Your friend, Albert de Morcerf. P.S. I now believe in Italian banditti.
Below these lines were written in a strange hand the following in Italian. Se alle 6 della mattina le 4.000 piastre non sono nelle mie mani, alla 7 il conte Alvaro sarà cessato di vivere. Luigi Vampa. If by 6 in the morning the 4,000 piastres are not in my hands, by 7 o'clock the Count Albert will have ceased to live. The second signature explained everything to Franz, who now understood the objection of the messenger to coming up into the apartment. The street was safer for him. Albert then had fallen into the hands of the famous bandit chief, in whose existence he had for so long a time refused to believe. There was no time to lose. He hastened to open the secretaire and found the pocketbook in the drawer, and in it the letter of credit. There were in all 6,000 piastres, but of these 6,000, Albert had already expended 3,000. As to Franz, he had no letter of credit, as he lived at Florence, and had only come to Rome to pass 7 or 8 days. He had brought but 100 louis, and from these he had not more than 50 left. Thus 700 or 800 piastres were wanting to them both to make up the sum that Albert required. True, he might in such a case rely on the kindness of Signor Torlonia. He was therefore about to return to the Palazzo Bracciano without loss of time, when suddenly a luminous idea crossed his mind. He remembered the Count of Monte Cristo. Franz was about to ring for Signor Pastrini when that worthy presented himself.
My dear sir, do you know if the Count is within?
Yes, your Excellency. He has this moment returned.
Is he in bed?
I should say no.
Then ring at his door, if you please, and request him to be so kind as to give me an audience.
Signor Pastrini did as he was desired, and returning 5 minutes after, he said, "Oh, that's me. The Count awaits your... Sorry. Please. The Count awaits your Excellency." Franz went along the corridor, and a servant introduced him to the Count. He was in a small room, which Franz had not yet seen, and which was surrounded with divans. The Count came toward him.
Well, what good wind blows you hither at this hour? Have you come to sup with me? It would be very kind of you.
No, I have come to speak to you of a very serious matter.
A serious matter? And what may it be?
Are we alone?
Yes.
Replied the Count, going to the door and returning. Franz gave him Albert's letter.
Read that.
The Count read it.
Well, well.
Did you see the postscript?
I did indeed. Se alla 6 della mattina la 4.000 pastri non sono nelle mie mani, alle 7 il conte Alberto avera siesto di vivere. Luigi Vampa.
What do you think of that?
Have you the money he demands?
Yes, all but 800 piastres.
The Count went to his secretaire, opened it, and pulling out a drawer filled with gold, said to Franz,
I hope you will not offend me by applying to anyone but myself.
You see, on the contrary, I come to you first and instantly.
And I thank you. Have what you will.
and he made a sign to Franz to take what he pleased.
Is it absolutely necessary, then, to send the money to Luigi Vampa?
Asked the young man, looking fixedly in his turn at the Count.
Judge for yourself. The postscript is explicit.
I think that if you would take the trouble of reflecting, you could find a way of simplifying the negotiation.
How so?
Returned the Count with surprise.
If we were to go together to Luigi Vampa, I am sure he would not refuse you Alber's freedom.
What influence can I possibly have over a bandit?
Have you not just rendered him a service that can never be forgotten?
What is that?
Have you not saved Peppino's life?
Well, well. Who told you that?
No matter, I know it.
The Count knit his brows and remained silent an instant.
And if I went to seek Vampa, would you accompany me?
If my society would not be disagreeable.
Be it so. It is a lovely night, and a walk without Rome will do us both good.
Shall I take any arms?
For what purpose?
Any money?
It is useless. Where is the man who brought the letter?
In the street.
He awaits the answer?
Yes.
I must learn where we are going. I will summon him hither.
It is useless. He would not come up.
To your apartments, perhaps, but he will not make any difficulty at entering mine.
The Count went to the window of the apartment that looked onto the street and whistled in a peculiar manner. The man in the mantle quitted the wall and advanced into the middle of the street.
Salate!
Said the Count, in the same tone in which he would have given an order to his servant. The messenger obeyed without the least hesitation, but rather with alacrity, and mounting the steps at a bound, entered the hotel. 5 seconds afterwards he was at the door of the room.
Ah, it is you, Peppino,
said the Count. But Peppino, instead of answering, threw himself on his knees, seized the Count's hand, and covered it with kisses.
You have then not forgotten that I saved your life? That is strange, for it is a week ago. No, your excellency, never shall I forget it,
returned Peppino with an accent of profound gratitude.
Never? That is a long time, but it is something that you will believe so. Rise and answer.
Peppino glanced anxiously at Franz.
Oh, you may speak before his excellency. He is one of my friends. You allow me to give you this title?
Continued the Count in French.
It is necessary to excite this man's confidence.
You can speak before me. I am a friend of the Count's.
Good. I'm ready to answer any questions your excellency may address to me.
How did the Viscount Albert fall into Luigi's hands?
Excellency, the Frenchman's carriage passed several times, that one in which was Teresa.
The chief's mistress?
Yes. The Frenchman threw her a bouquet. Teresa returned it. All this with the consent of the chief, who was in the carriage.
What? Was Luigi Vampa in the carriage with the Roman peasants?
It was he who drove, disguised as the coachman. Well? Well, then, the Frenchman took off his mask. Teresa, with the chief's consent, did the same. The Frenchman asked for a rendezvous. Teresa gave him one, only instead of Teresa, it was Beppo, who was on the steps of the church of San Giacomo.
What? The peasant girl who snatched his mocoletto from him?
Was a lad of 15. But it was no disgrace to your friend to have been deceived. Beppo was taken in plenty of others. And Beppo led him outside the walls? Exactly so. A carriage was waiting at the end of the Via Mazziello. Beppo got in, inviting the Frenchman to follow him. He did not wait to be asked twice. He gallantly offered the right-hand seat to Beppo and sat by him. Beppo told him he was going to take him to a villa a league from Rome. The Frenchman assured him he would follow him to the end of the world. The coachman went up to the Via de Ripita and the Porta de San Paolo. When they were 200 yards outside, as the Frenchman became somewhat too forward, Beppo put a brace of pistols to his head. The coachman pulled up and did the same, at the same time, for the band, who were concealed at the banks of the Almo, surrounded the carriage. The Frenchman made some resistance and nearly strangled Beppo, but he could not resist 5 armed men, and he was forced to yield. They made him get out and walk along the banks of the river, and then brought him to Teresa and Luigi, who were waiting for him in the catacombs of St. Sebastian. It's actually so much fun.
Good job holding your laughter. I'm sorry I almost made you mess up.
Oh, I've been struggling the entire time. All right. Well, it seems to me that this is a very likely story. What do you say to it?
Why, that I should think it very amusing if it had happened to anyone but poor Albert.
And in truth, if you had not found me here, it might have proved a gallant adventure which would have cost your friend dear. But now, be assured, this alarm will be the only serious consequence.
And shall we go and find him?
Oh, decidedly, sir. He is in a very picturesque place. Do you know the catacombs of Saint Sebastian?
I was never in them, but I have often resolved to visit them.
Well, here is an opportunity made to your hand, and it will be difficult to contrive a better. Have you a carriage?
No.
That is of no consequence. I always have one ready, day and night.
Always ready?
Yes, I am a very capricious being, and I should tell you that sometimes when I rise, or after I dinner, or in the middle of the night, I resolve on starting for some particular point, and away I go.
The Count rang, and a footman appeared.
Order out the carriage, and remove the pistols which are in the holsters. You need not awaken the coachman. Ali will drive.
In a very short time, the noise of wheels was heard, and the carriage stopped at the door. The Count took out his watch.
12:30. We might start at 5 o'clock and be in time, but the delay may cause your friend to pass an uneasy night, and therefore we had better go with all speed to extricate him from the hands of the infidels. Are you resolved to accompany me?
More determined than ever.
Well then, come along.
Franz and the Count went downstairs, accompanied by Peppino. At the door they found a carriage. Ali was on the box, in whom Franz recognized the dumb slave of the grotto of Monte Cristo. Franz and the Count got into the carriage. Peppino placed himself beside Ali, and they set off at a rapid pace. Ali had received his instructions and went down to the Corso, crossed the Campo Vaccino, went into the Strada San Gregorio, and reached the gates of St. Sebastian. Then the porter raised some difficulties, but the Count of Monte Cristo produced a permit from the governor of Rome, allowing him to leave or enter the city at any hour of the day or night. The portcullis was therefore raised, the porter had a louis for his trouble, and they went on their way. The road which the carriage now traversed was the ancient Appian Way, and bordered with tombs. From time to time, by the light of the moon, which began to rise, Franz imagined that he saw something like a sentinel appear at various points among the ruins, and suddenly retreat into the darkness on a signal from Peppino. A short time before they reached the baths of Carcala, the carriage stopped. Peppino opened the door, and the Count and Franz alighted.
In 10 minutes, we shall be there.
He then took Peppino aside, gave him an order in a low voice, and Peppino went away, taking with him a torch. Brought with him, sorry about this. Let me start from the top. He then took Peppino aside, gave him an order in a low voice, and Peppino went away, taking with him a torch, brought with them in the carriage. 5 minutes elapsed, during which Franz saw the shepherd going along a narrow path that led over the irregular and broken surface of the Campagna. And finally, he disappeared in the midst of the tall red herbage, which seemed like the bristling mane of an enormous lion.
Now, let us follow him.
Franz and the Count in their turn then advanced along the same path, which at a distance of 100 paces led them over a declivity to the bottom of a small valley. They then perceived two men conversing in the obscurity.
Ought we to go on, or should we pause?
Let us go on. Peppino will have warned the sentry of our coming.
One of the two men was Peppino, and the other a bandit on the lookout. Franz and the Count advanced, and the bandit saluted them.
Your Excellency, if you will follow me, the opening of the catacombs is close at hand. Go on, then,
replied the Count. They came to an opening behind a clump of bushes, and in the midst of a pile of rocks, by which a man could scarcely pass, Peppino glided first into this crevice. After they got along a few paces, the passage widened. Peppino passed, lighted his torch, and turned to see if they came after him. The Count first reached an open space, and Franz followed him closely. The passageway sloped in a gentle descent, enlarging as they proceeded. Still, Franz and the Count were compelled to advance in a stooping posture, and were scarcely able to proceed abreast of one another. They went on 150 paces in this way, and then they were stopped by...
Who comes there?
At the same time, they saw the reflection of a torch and a carbine barrel.
A friend,
responded Peppino, and advancing alone toward the sentry, he said a few words to him in a low tone. And then he, like the first, saluted the nocturnal visitors, making a sign that they might proceed. Behind the sentinel was a staircase with 20 steps. Franz and the Count descended these, and found themselves in a mortuary chamber. 5 corridors diverged like rays of a star, and the walls dug into niches, which were arranged one above the other in the shape of coffins, showed that they were at last in the catacombs. Down one of the corridors, whose extent it was impossible to determine, rays of light were visible. The Count laid his hand on Franz's shoulder.
would you like to see a camp of bandits in repose?
Exceedingly.
Come with me, then. Peppino, put out your torch.
Peppino obeyed, and Franz and the Count were in utter darkness, except that 50 paces in advance of them was a reddish glare, more evident since Peppino had put out his torch, was visible along the wall. They advanced silently, the Count guiding Franz as if he had the singular faculty of seeing in the dark. Franz himself, however, saw his way more plainly in proportion as he went on towards the light, which served in some manner as a guide. 3 arcades were before them, and the middle one was used as a door. These arcades opened on to one side of the corridor where the Count and Franz were, and on the other into a large square chamber, entirely surrounded by niches similar to those of which we have spoken. In the midst of this chamber were 4 stones, which had formerly served as an altar, as was evident from the cross which still surmounted them. A lamp, placed at the base of the pillar, lighted up with its pale and flickering flame the singular scene which presented itself into the eyes of the 2 visitors concealed in the shadow. A man was seated with his elbow leaning on the column, and was reading with his back turned to the arcades, through the openings of which the newcomers contemplated him. This was the chief of the land, Luigi Vampa. Around him, and in groups, according to their fancy, lying in their mantles, or with their backs against a sort of stone bench, which went all around the columbarium, were to be seen 20 brigands or more, each having his carbine within reach. At the other end, silent, scarcely visible, and like a shadow, was a sentinel, who was walking up and down before a grotto, which was only distinguishable because in that spot the darkness seemed more dense than elsewhere. When the Count thought Franz had gazed sufficiently on this picturesque tableau, he raised his finger to his lips to warn him to be silent, and ascending the 3 steps which led to the corridor of the columbarium, entered the chamber by the middle arcade, and advanced towards Vampa, who was so intent on the book before him that he did not hear the noise of his footsteps.
"Who comes there?"
cried the sentinel, who was less abstracted, and who saw by the lamplight a shadow approaching his chief. At this challenge, Vampa rose quickly, drawing at the same moment a pistol from his girdle. In a moment all the bandits were on their feet, and 20 carbines were levelled at the Count.
Well, my dear Vampa, it appears to me that you receive a friend with a great deal of ceremony.
"Ground arms!" exclaimed the chief, with an imperative sign of the hand, while with the other he took off his hat respectfully. Then, turning to the singular personage who had caused this scene, said, "Your pardon, your Excellency, but I was so far from expecting the honor of a visit that I did not really recognize you."
It seems that your memory is equally short in everything, Vampa. And that not only do you forget people's faces, but also the conditions you make with them.
"What conditions have I forgotten, your Excellency?" inquired the bandit, with the air of a man who, having committed an error, is anxious to repair it.
Was it not agreed that not only my person, but also that of my friends, should be respected by you?
"And how have I broken that treaty, your Excellency?"
You have this evening carried off and conveyed hither the Viscount Albert de Morcerf. Well, this young gentleman is one of my friends. This young gentleman lodges in the same hotel as myself. This young gentleman has been up and down the Corso for 8 hours in my private carriage, and yet, I repeat to you, you have carried him off and conveyed him hither, and you have set a ransom on him, as if it were an utter stranger.
"Why didn't you tell me all this, you?" inquired the brigand chief, turning toward his men, who all retreated before his look. "You, why have you caused me to thus fail in my word towards a gentleman like the Count, who has all our lives in his hands? By heavens, if I thought one of you knew that the young gentleman was the friend of his Excellency, I would blow his brains out with my own hand."
Well, I told you there was some mistake in this.
"Are you not alone?" asked Vampa with uneasiness.
I am with the person to whom this letter was addressed, and to whom I desire to prove that Luigi Vampa was a man of his word. Come, your Excellency. Here is Luigi Vampa, who will himself express to you his deep regret at the mistake he has committed.
Franz approached, the chief advancing several steps to meet him. "Welcome among us, Your Excellency. You heard that the Count has just said, and also my reply. Let me add that I would not, for the 4,000 piastres at which I had fixed your friend's ransom, that this had happened."
But, where is the Viscount? I do not see him.
Nothing has happened to him, I hope,
said the Count frowningly. The prisoner is here," replied Vampa, pointing to the hollow space in front of which the bandit was on guard. "And I will go myself and tell him he is free." The chief went towards the place he had pointed out as Albert's prison, and Franz and the Count followed him. "What is the prisoner doing?" inquired Vampa of the sentinel.
Ma foi, Captain, I do not know. For the last hour I have not heard him stir.
"Come in, Your Excellency," said Vampa. The Count and Franz ascended 7 or 8 steps after the chief, who drew back a bolt and opened a door. Then, by the gleam of a lamp, similar to that which lighted the columbarium, Albert was to be seen, wrapped up in a cloak, which one of the bandits had lent him, lying in a corner in profound slumber.
Come, not so bad for a man who's to be shot at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Vampa looked at Albert with a kind of admiration. He was not insensible to such a proof of courage. "You are right, Your Excellency. This must be one of your friends." Then going to Albert, he touched him on the shoulder, saying, "Will Your Excellency please to awaken?" Albert stretched out his arms, rubbed his eyelids, and opened his eyes.
Oh, is it you, Captain? You should have allowed me to sleep. I had such a delightful dream. I was dancing the galop at Torleon's with the Countess G.
Then he drew his watch from his pocket, that he might see how time sped.
1:30 only? Why the devil did you rouse me at this hour?
"To tell you that you're free, Your Excellency."
My dear fellow, remember for the future Napoleon's maxim, never awaken me but for bad news. If you had let me sleep on, I should have finished my gallop and have been grateful to you all my life. So then, they have paid the ransom?
"No, Your Excellency."
Well, then how am I free?
"A person whom I can refuse nothing has come to demand you."
Come hither?
Yes, hither."
Really? Then that person is a most amenable person. Amiable person.
Albert looked around and perceived Franz.
What? Is it you, my dear Franz, whose devotion and friendship are thus displayed?
No, not I, but our neighbor, the Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, my dear Count, you really are the most kind, and I hope you will consider me an eternal obligation to you, in the first place for your carriage, and now for this visit.
And he put out his hand to the Count, who shuddered as he gave his own, but who nevertheless did give it. The bandit gazed on this scene with amazement. He was evidently accustomed to see his prisoners tremble before him, and yet here was one whose gay temperament was not for a moment altered. As for Franz, he was enchanted at the way in which Albert had sustained the national honor in the presence of the bandit.
My dear Albert, if you will make haste, we shall yet have time to finish the night at Torlonia's. You may conclude your interrupted gallop, so that you will owe no ill will to Signor Luigi, who has indeed, throughout this whole affair, acted like a gentleman.
You are decidedly right, and we may reach the piazza by 2 o'clock. Signor Luigi, is there any formality to fulfill before I take leave of your Excellency?
None, sir. You are as free as air.
Well, then a happy and merry life to you. Come, gentlemen, come.
And Albert, followed by Franz and the Count, descended the staircase, crossed the square chamber where stood all the bandits, hand in hand. Peppino, said the brigand chief, give me the torch.
What are you going to do?
I will show you the way back myself. That is the least honor that I can render to your excellency. And taking the lighted torch from the hands of the herdsman, he preceded his guests, not as a servant who performs an act of civility, but like a king who precedes ambassadors. On reaching the door, he bowed. And I hope, your excellency, allow me to repeat my apologies, and I hope you will not entertain any resentment as to what has occurred.
No, my dear Vampa. Besides, you compensate for your mistakes in so gentlemanly a way that one must almost feel obliged to you for having committed them.
Gentlemen, added the chief, turning towards the young man, perhaps the offer may not appear very tempting to you, but if you should ever feel inclined to pay me a second visit, wherever I may be, you shall be welcome. Franz and Albert bowed. The Count went out first, then Albert. Franz paused for a moment. Has your excellency anything to ask me? Said Vampa with a smile.
Yes, I have. I am curious to know what work you were perusing with so much attention as we entered.
Caesar's Commentaries. It is my favorite work.
Well, are you coming?
Yes, here I am,
said Franz, and in his turn they left the caves. They advanced to the plain.
Ah, your pardon. Will you allow me, Captain?
And he lighted his cigar at Vampa's torch.
Now, my dear Count, let us on with all speed that we may. I am enormously anxious to finish my night at the Duke of Bracciano's.
They found the carriage where they had left it. The Count said a word in Arabic to Ali, and the horses went on at great speed. It was just 2 o'clock by Albert's watch when the two friends entered into the dancing room. The return was quite an event, but as they entered together, all uneasiness on Albert's account cleared instantly.
Madame,
Said the Viscount of Morcerf, advancing toward the house. Said the Viscount of Morcerf, advancing toward the Countess.
yesterday you were so condescending as to promise me a gallop. I'm rather late in the claiming of this gracious promise, but here is my friend, whose character for veracity you well know, and he will assure you the delay arose from no fault of mine.
And as at this moment the orchestra gave the signal for the waltz, Albert put his arm around the waist of the Countess and disappeared with her in the whirl of dancers. In the meanwhile, Franz was considering the singular shudder that had passed over the Count of Monte Cristo at the moment when he had been, in some sort, forced to give his hand to Albert. End of chapter.
Yay!
Whoa. Oh my. Okay, Albert is really cemented as the most brainless fop that ever lived. Oh my gosh, he just...
I kind of love him now, I'll be honest.
At least he's consistent, even
It's
face
too
a bunch of
brave for the
bandits.
girl.
Did he actually say... I'm trying to remember. Did he say... Let me go back. Did he say thank you? He's the kind of person that would not say thank you.
He said something to
He
the
said
Count.
something.
Let's hear. Oh, my dear Count, you are really most kind, and I hope you will consider me consider me as under eternal obligation to you, in the first place for the carriage, and in next for this visit. That's kind of an apology. It's very French.
Oh
Thank you,
my
rather.
gosh. Very, very interesting. Oh my gosh. Okay. What do you guys think of this chapter? First of all, I did not expect Ransom to be the way it went. I always just figured that he was gonna get jumped in an alley and then Count was going to save the day, swoop in.
The movies often take that route for brevity's sake.
Yeah. I think there was one, I think at the 2002 version, that they were going to like hold him for ransom and threatened with like cutting his fingers or whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's the closest to it.
But I mean, they definitely skipped over almost everything that happened in Rome in that movie. So
I'm just okay, to me it's way it's still difficult, but way easier to, bribe a gang of like ne'er-do-wellers, right? And just say, okay, jump this guy, like beat him up, I will swoop in, and that's easier than what like Edmund did here. Like I don't know how he was able to get all of this. Like that's just so intricate, all of the planning. Like this gang of thieves, like I don't know, like are these like legit thieves, or did he like make a group of thieves, or like and then if they were not legit thieves, then how did he manage to pull off the execution pardon? So I don't know, it's really interesting.
yeah, it's unclear, but he makes it work,
I think we should be taken to believe Signor Pastrini a few chapters ago, his story about Luigi Vampa's life was basically true, and he happened to meet the Count of Monte Cristo through that story as the traveler, and so became indebted to him at that juncture.
Okay.
I think that part is a fabrication. I think the rest of it might be true, because like the timeline doesn't make sense for that. Albert isn't that old, and the Count has been in prison for most of that time, and Luigi seems very well set up. So I think
he's only like 18 or 19. Luigi Vampa.
So fine, let's say Vampa is legit, his gang is legit, the story about his rise as the king of bandits is legit. But maybe, and also his ties to Dante's are legit, but maybe the story of how he met him and how all of that stuff is maybe a little massaged here and there in the story of Signor Pastrini. Because I feel like Signor Pastrini would be the easiest person to just like, okay, here, have this money, like, and make sure that all these things happen. Like, I'm gonna rent the whole hotel and you just give these people like these lousy rooms, and they have to be in my floor so that we can become friends. So I think Signor Pastrini is definitely like a key into the ruse. But yeah, I do believe at some point I thought Luigi was actually going to be like another nickname, another entity that Edmund takes, but no, it's not the same person. All of this,
I think we can all agree that, in the very least, Peppino is real. He is.
Oh my God.
It was funny, you doing the New York accent, and then it's like with an accent of eternal gratitude. Not how I think of New Yorkers, unfortunately.
Magpie, I posted some memes.
I am getting ready to show them. Hey, Crusher! Crusher's here!
Hello.
All right, so Crusher shared with us some quality memes. Forgive your enemies. Hold on a second. Do you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay. Forgive your enemies, then hold a grudge against your enemies. Then find a way to get revenge on those who wronged you. Oh my gosh, the brain powers. Escape imprisonment after 14 years, create a fortune that rivals that of the king. Carefully create a plan that will not only kill your enemies, but will completely destroy them and use and everything they love using manipulation. Man, yeah, the serious brain power right there. Yeah, this has been a very convoluted plan so far, but I mean, he is setting himself up a good alibi that, for his plans. I think he has to have this kind of people know him in Rome and France, he's a sensible fellow. Like he now can kind of vouch for him, say like, yeah, I knew him from Rome, and he did this and that and this is the story, and he has ties to these people, and he's also Sinbad the sailor. So at some point, I don't know, when he's doing Paris, all his revenge work in Paris, like he will have like a full alibi, like about him being like a count in Rome doing all of these things. So it makes sense that he's, really, really like working hard on his background story. I'm just surprised. Like, I did not expect it would be like to that extent, but props to the book.
Yep.
Let's see, who else is in the chat? Meanwhile, you guys, let me know if there's anything about today. By the way, it's speaking of accents, like I kept shifting around in my accents with Luigi Vampa. I was like, well, how did I do Luigi Vampa's voice earlier? Also, that Italian part of me was like, don't read it. Don't read the Italian, Magpie. Don't read the Italian. And I was like, challenge accepted. So to all of you who are listening and who know Italian, you know what?
We apologize for what we did to your beautiful language.
Mamma mia!
And do the hand. I did the hand as much as I could. I think I nailed the Luigi Vampa accent, like Italian accent, a little bit more when I did the hand. I was like, okay, Magpie, do the hand, it'll sound more Italian. And yeah, when I would do the hand, it sounded a little bit more Italian, but all right.
I'll be honest, the Italian was a lot easier once I was in the New York accent.
Yeah, at first I thought you were gonna start with like a English, what's that, Cockney accent at first.
Yeah, I thought about it and I was like, that seems fun, but
by the way, let's talk about an important part about the story, you guys. Beppo.
Beppo.
All right, who is Beppo, and what is so important about Beppo?
He's the 15-year-old that tricked Albert, obviously.
The honey trap. Oh man. Okay, so all of this seduction going on with Luigi Vampa's permission. So Albert was flirting with Luigi Vampa's girl, and all the time Luigi was allowing it, and then but he was not about to allow like a total assignation. Like, instead of sending Teresa over there, he sent a dude dressed in like girls' clothes, and it's those details. Peppino's details, like his story, like, yeah, they went on a carriage, and like as they were there, like Albert started getting a little bit, a little bit frisky, wanted to get, a little naughty, and then like, oh my god, the telling of the story was hilarious. But yeah, we had a Beppo.
He's basically the Bishonen of the story.
Mm-hmm. Yay.
I love Beppo. I would protect him.
Yeah, your comment makes me laugh. You looking at Beppo? You looking at Beppo?
No one else you could be looking at, so you must be looking at Beppo.
Beppo also appears and has an expanded role in Gankutsuo, the Monte Cristo anime.
Oh, really?
Incredible, because he is the perfect boy.
You know what? We really do have to watch that. Yeah, let's schedule it, you guys.
Oh, you finished watching it, Teal?
Oh yeah, ages ago. If you notice, My profile picture is Heidi from Gankuso.
Oh yeah, we should all watch it together.
Really? That's your. I've always wondered, like, sometimes where people get their characters from, their PFPs from. Oh, okay. Yeah, we should watch it together. Let's schedule it. All right. Let's see. What did you guys think about Albert? And besides, what do you guys think about Albert and his all this time? Like, I thought he was he was not a very smart person, but man, this chapter just, whoa.
He is 140% French.
Wait, what? Really? Okay.
Oh, like, just the immediately starts flirting with people in another country, gets kidnapped, has no issue with it at all, and is, just a little comes across as a little bit
Flamboyant.
Flamboyant, yes. Just
That's my word for him.
mhm.
It's just typical flamboyant person.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Very
that's,
rakish.
Heel?
that's Alexandre Dumas' take on nature versus nurture, because he's actually a full-blooded Catalan who just happened to be raised as a French nobleman.
Oh, that is true. He's a fake French.
Hmm.
Wait, is this a French Catalan stereotype that I don't know about?
Not really. It's just, they didn't really get super along in the 19th century.
This is Europe. Nobody got along forever.
Nobody even still is getting along. I know. Yeah.
They haven't been able to get along since the Romans.
Oh man. To me, when I read Albert, like I've read mostly like English literature, so there's always that English kind of like a certain kind of stereotype of like the gentleman, kind of like he's just out of Eton, or like he's just out of Oxford, and they're gonna go to the continent and have all this merry good old time, my chap. So he kind of like felt like that. I'm like, I don't know, like it doesn't seem French to me. It seems more, but that's basically because I read more of like from English literature rather than like French.
So it just seems posh, pretty much. Like very posh, aloof attitude.
Very Oxford.
Yeah, like they have like it's kind of like just overall silly, entitled, and
Yeah. He's not.
Although, yeah. Go ahead.
I think we can say he's not brave because he doesn't have bravery in spite of some level of fear. He just is not afraid because he's a fool.
Well, yeah.
Basically, he's the type of person that uses grape scissors.
I'm sorry, I don't
Man who has
understand.
never feared a thing in his life because he is not capable of experiencing fear.
So let's see. In the chat, they're saying about scheduling the watch party. And yes, everyone in the chat should watch it with us. There's one way for you guys to join these watch parties. They do so by going to the Chattering Magpie, my other channel, and hitting that join button. And subscribe at the noble tier and above. Thank you, Fuji and Patrick, for bringing that to our attention. So all in all, I think Franz had a rough time of it. He was scrabbling for coins, trying to see if he could pay the ransom. But part of me was thinking, like, what if he had decided to not ask for, Monte Cristo's help? Like, here's the thing. He could have gone and gotten the money and then just paid the money, and that's it. Then what would have happened then? Like, about Edmund's plan.
I suspect that Edmund would have helped take care of them in their lack of funds, getting them back to Paris.
That is true. Yeah. So
This guy's got a Xanatos Gambit thing going on. Every action results in his victory.
Yeah, because I was wondering at this point, because we know Franz does not trust Count of Monte Cristo. Like he suspects him to some degree, and so I was like, I don't think he's gonna like impose on you and say like, okay, I know you are friends with Luigi Vampa. Okay, you help set my friend free because we don't want I don't want to give him all this money. I did not expect him to actually like say like, I know that you are friends with him. You help and to get my friend free.
I mean, I think a part of it is Franz at least believed that he had leverage over the Count. Because he knew that the Count had this, criminal contact.
Mm-hmm.
But at least that's my interpretation.
I
think any scenario would have just further demonstrated the Count's perceived power and like reach, no matter what would have happened.
Yeah. So I think Edmund is by now he has established himself and his background story so well that, well, if something doesn't go according to plan, maybe he does have a plan B and C and D and whatever. But I think so far all his plans have come to fruition, and now these two youngsters are in the palm of his hand. Like, they seriously owe him. But my the part that I found the most intriguing and most telling was, like it says at the end of the chapter, when the Count of Monte Cristo did not want to take, he's kind of like was reluctant to take Albert's hand. And I think some folks in the chat, they were saying like what they attribute this to. What do you guys think?
I think he didn't want to touch anyone that stupid. That is a joke.
His stupidity was contagious? Is that why?
Oh God, what if I catch whatever it has?
I love Fuji's comments as Albert Tigiswald. Albert Tigiswald. Yeah, Byron points out Albert got Tigiswald beat, in my opinion. Yeah, it does. And also Patrick says Albert reminds me of Bobby from King of the Hill. Oh, man. Alright. So he's been studying Albert. Like, we know that he's been studying Albert. He when they were together, like, Franz like said like, hey, I think he like looks at you particularly like as if he's like, I don't know, just either sizing him up or whatnot. And he knows enough now to know that he does not like Albert. Can't stand him. I'm sure he can't stand him. I can't stand him. But just knowing that you guys, that's Mercedes' son, the son that she had with that traitorous, horrible man that sent him to his fate. So yeah, there's disgust for sure.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
No. What do you think?
Well, this entire thing is the plot to ruin people, and like not just ruin people, but like absolutely destroy them. And then there's this random innocent idiot here who's kind of blameless, and like, I don't know, he's kind of just like a harmless idiot, not really responsible for, the Count's vengeance. So I guess in a way he's kind of reluctant to maybe destroy an innocent idiot too.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Could be Edmund's good heart.
Maybe.
So.
Oh, Okay, Hannah.
Hello.
Hi! Finally caught up to the live.
You caught it. You caught us. Yay. So what do you think of
I was thinking
Edmund's reaction to
the shudder. I was thinking maybe he didn't want to hold he didn't want to hold Albert's hand, or rather shake Albert's hand, thinking that he is the sire of he is the offspring of Fernand, the one who is the root cause of his imprisonment, unfair imprisonment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my hypothesis, so to speak.
I think there's also definitely an element of Edmund. We know Edmund is at like the core of his being a person who's, innocent.
He was originally pure of heart.
Yeah, tried to do good by others, and even after he got out, he did that for those who had helped him. And I think that there's probably an element of this, which is he doesn't want to see Albert as a good person. So the idea of Albert thanking him is, a negative toward his goal of seeing him as less than human so that he can destroy him, along with Fernand and everybody else that Fernand has touched.
I don't know. I just think this is just basically him having like an inner conflict, whether or not it's just justice to destroy an idiot that has nothing to do with his revenge or like anything like that.
Oh, I agree. It's probably a whole bunch of different emotions all at once.
I think that probably is the right answer. Like it's I don't know, like if I'm trying to think, like if a man loved somebody so much and then he like finds that person had a kid and that kid's in trouble, you still want to like try to help him out because, for the sake of that past friendship or whatever. At least I should hope so, right? But then he also knows that who his father is, and also this guy's an idiot, and also he's going to be an instrument of like my revenge. So yeah, lots of feelings, lots of conflicted feelings there. A moral dilemma. Well, no, not really, not moral dilemma, because he's hell-bent on revenge. But yeah, those are interesting points. Anything else? Anybody else have
Yeah. To add to your statement, they do say that love and hate are two sides of the same coin. So, thinking if you think about how much Edmund loved Mercedes and seeing how she said, or rather hearing about how she now has a child with she now has a son with Fernand, who is, you could say, his mortal enemy now, mortal enemy number one. It's not hard to believe, it's not hard to think that love might have become hate towards the child of that union. Because in his mind, this is just my thinking, of course, but in his mind, he might be thinking that Albert is a sign of betrayal, of Mercedes' betrayal of his undying love. Because Mercedes was the only thing that kept him alive, kept him going inside that prison. So perhaps that's also one reason why he doesn't want to touch Albert.
Oh, hey, Butterfly, were you going to say something? Welcome, by the way. Or was it Fuji that was going to say something?
I interrupted.
Oh, Fuji, hey.
I was thinking like guilt by association or like untouchability by association, sort of.
Yeah. Another thing that struck me in that scene, that when he held his hand It was when he basically he did. Albert said like, I am indebted to you. So another way was like Edmund's like triumph, like holding on to like, yes, finally, yes, I got this kid. Like in the future, I am going to like use this, like his indebtedness, his gratitude. I got him in the bag, got that. So I think maybe that was also it. I guess he was eager.
Could be.
It was the eager to taste some blood, to shed some blood, to have finally be able to know that at some point, if he goes to France, when he does his revenge, that Franz will have no other choice but to. Sorry, Franz. Albert will have no other choice but to, like.
Repay a favor.
Yeah, so this is confirmation that all of his plans have led to this, and the plans worked. So, yeah, a lot of stuff happened in this chapter, and I found it very fun. A very good chapter. Definitely not what I had expected. Again, the movie totally twists our preconceptions of what might happen. So pleasantly surprised so far. I haven't found any deviation from like the movies that I have not like enjoyed. So good job, book. Yeah, I know it's weird to say it like that, but I did watch 2 movies and maybe a series and Wishbone before reading this book. So I mean,
Hell yeah, Wishbone.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah. All right. Anything else anybody want to remark? I know, Teal, you're being very silent. I'm like, when is she gonna say something? But I know because you've read the book. But if you want something else to say, you have to, without like spoiling it for us. I mean, how do you spoil a 200-year-old book? But still.
I've spoiled enough tonight, I think.
All right. We'll leave the spoiling for another time. You guys, I had so much fun today. I hope you guys did too. Remember to hit the like button, to share it, to subscribe, and join us if you want to. Tomorrow we are having our anime wrap party. By the way, I'm gonna have to watch some anime. You guys, are you down to watch some anime? Because I have not watched anything this week. I have been so if you guys want, after this, let me just get something to eat real quick. And then if you are free, I'll just stream some anime. So I have to watch like 10 episodes. So, well, I won't stream all 10.
Binge watching now.
Yeah. All right, you guys. If you can't join us tomorrow for some anime chit-chat, join us on Friday for our 1 p.m. Pacific read-along. We will take up the next chapter, which is titled, what is the title? The Rendezvous. Ooh. All right. Ooh, Rendezvous. Find us then. Again, thank you to the gang who joined in, and to those that read today. We had EA82 who read the following: The Duke of Bracciano, The Servant, The Messenger / Peppino, The Count of Monte Cristo, and Albert Morsa. We also had Teal reading Franz and The Sentry. And I read The Countess, G, Signor Pastrini, and Luigi Vampa. And of course, thank you to Teal, who is our amazing MVP, for highlighting. And everybody else that wasn't able to read, hope you can join us next time. Patrick, good luck at the casino. May you win lots of money, and you can, treat us to some Dr. Pepper one of these days. All right, everybody. I know I had to have my fun somehow, so I had to make do. Patrick, I'm sorry, but yeah.
Oh, I have a pun for PA's character and Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepperino.
Remember, you got to drink the Dr. Pepper. It makes everything better.
You guys are amazing.
It has 23 flavors. You can have it warm or cold.
Slushy.
I'm kind of shifting into kind of this like New York Jewish accent. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you
I'm-
sound like the scout.
I'm trying to like pinpoint. You're shifting a lot.
I'm all over the place today.
Well, you're doing
Magpie,
better than
you
I could
know.
do. So, all right, Pepino. I mean, yay. And everybody else here on the chat. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you on Wednesday Wednesday. We'll see you on Friday or tomorrow if you want to join us. Thank you, gang. And yeah, say bye-bye. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Au revoir and all that.
Ciao.
Okay, so